Welcome back to the Craps Lab. This is Rusty. Today we're going to help out new players coming to the craps table. How to acclimate to the table, what to look for when you approach a table, how to bet as a new player, positioning around the table, how to throw the dice, how to buy in, stuff like that, and then some basic betting tips. So, let's get started. Approaching the table. Okay, I'm a new player and I come upon the craps table and I tell myself I'm going to play craps this time I'm here in Vegas. So, as a new player, and even some of you old pros out there, one thing to look for is the puck. This is called the on-off puck. When the puck is off, that means that they're getting ready to do a come-out roll. Either the current shooter has made the point, or the last shooter just sevened out and they've moved the dice. All right? So one of the first things to look at is the puck. So when you approach the table, so there's a couple things when you're approaching the table. When you come up to the table, there are 8 spots. Typically a spot for every one of these chip trays on the table. Okay? Where you choose to stand is up to 2 things, your choice and what's available. A lot of times, busy times of the day, evening particularly, this table will be full, right? So you're going to have to find a spot. You might have to squeeze in. It's a little uncomfortable, but once you get used to it, other players are just as comfortable. Some of them might be a little bit, But one thing you don't want to do, this is an etiquette thing, when that puck is on, you don't want to throw your money down, right? The puck is off. Before you throw your money down, make sure the dice are in the center, right? The stick man is controlling the dice. The puck is off, the dice are in the center. If the dice are moved out to the shooter, you don't want to throw your money down. It's just another etiquette thing. You put your money down, the dice are in the center, you put your money down, you throw out $500. They're going to give you a stack of 400 green and 100 red. They'll count something out, most likely. Right? They're going to count it out. There we go. They're going to stack it up. Slide it towards you. The puck is still off. As soon as the dealer passes those chips off to you, the dice are going to move, and it's up to you to get those chips picked up and put in your rail. So pick them up, put them in your rail. You can arrange them however you like. Most people keep bigger units on one side or the other, right? Typically depends on which side of the table you're on. There are people that will sandwich their big units because of they don't want anybody reaching over and fondling their chips. Where you choose to stand affects when you shoot the dice. The dice move in a clockwise direction, right? So it's going to go clockwise. It's going around here. When the dice when this person sevens out, the dice come this direction. You'll hear new shooter, new direction. That means they're coming this way. All right? If you're on this side of the dealer, stick man, box man, dealer, base dealer. If you're on the left of the stick man, you're throwing to your right. If you're on the right of the dealer, you're throwing to the left. The stick man drags the dice to the middle after every throw. At this point, you can make your bets. How you throw the dice. You can throw the dice however you like. I personally prefer a nice soft toss. Not always possible, right? You're throwing from the end, right? How do you throw them, right? I see a lot of people pick the dice up and chuck them. Works for them, right? Also see people nice and soft. Let's talk about a basic bet. The easiest bet to work with, if you want to play for a long time at the craps table, and there's also going to be what's called a table minimum placard, and it's usually right around here, and that's going to tell you what your minimum bet has to be on anything this side of the stick. Anything in here in the middle area usually can be dollar denominations, single dollar, but anything over here has to be that minimum bet. So let's say if you're in Vegas, you're probably going to be dealing with a $10, $15, or $25 minimum, depends on where you're playing. Let's say you're playing at a $15 table. You want to play for several hours, get your feet wet. If you've never played before, get your feet wet, put your $15 on the pass line. You could put your $15 on the don't pass line. You could switch it up, between shooters, whatever. You have 8 ways to win and 4 ways to lose on the pass line. So you have the 7, which has 6 chances. You have the 11, which has 2 chances. Those both win. 7 or 11 wins. 2, 3, or 12 loses. There are 1 chance of a 2, 1 chance of a 12, and 2 chances of 3. So 2, 3, 12 lose, 7, 11 win. Anything other than that is going to be a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10. Let's say they roll a 5. A 5 means that you have to roll, the shooter has to roll another 5 before a 7. If they roll a 7, you lose. If they roll a 5, you win. You're going to win even amount that you put on your pass line. Once you're comfortable with that, you could start placing what are called odds. And the odds vary depending on what number is rolled. Think of these as pairs. The 6 and 8 are a pair. The 5 and 9 are a pair. And the 4 and 10 are a pair. The pairs have the same odds. So a 4 and a 10 have 2 to 1 odds, meaning every dollar you bet behind, and when I say taking odds, this is taking odds behind your pass line bet. It's called backing up your bet. There is no house advantage to an odds bet because even though you're at the disadvantage of a 7 having a better chance to hit than this number that your point, that's called establishing a point, you get paid even money for the number of outs that you have. So a 5 is going to, you have 4 chances to hit a 5, you have 6 chances to hit a 7. Break that down. Those are your odds. You get $3 for every $2 you bet. So a common problem that bettors have is not betting for the right odds. And a general rule of thumb is keep it even, and you're correct every time. Okay. Sometimes you have to place odds higher than the same or higher than your pass line bet. In that case, we would bet $20 on a $15 pass line bet because we want to keep it even, right? So for this $20 bet, we would win $30. plus our $15. Starting to get a little more exciting, right? At the same time, 7, they take it. Let's talk quickly about the don't pass. Same thing happens, but reversed. 7 or 11 you lose. Let's turn this off. When this is off, a 7 or 11 loses. A 2 or 3 wins. And if you can see this here, see how this is don't pass, bar 12 means you would not win if a 12 hits. It would be a push. All right? So 2 or 3, you win. 7 or 11, you lose. All right. Anything else? Just like the pass line, establishes a point. Let's say it's a 5. A 7 hits. Now if a 7 hits before the 5 hits, you win. If a 5 hits before the 7, you lose. You want to get a little trickier. The odds for don't pass are the reverse of a pass line. So before, when I said it was 3 for every 2 for a 5, it's now 2 for every 3. So I got to put out $30 to win $20. All right. Let's see here. Let's talk about odds on the 6 and 8 is 6 for every 5. So if you put, let's go back to the pass line example here. Let's say the point is a 6. The 6 now, we've established a point, $15 for the pass line. This is a contract bet. I can't pick it up if I don't like the number or if I don't feel like it's going to hit. The odds are going to pay 6 for every 5. So if they hit a 6 before the 7, you'll get $30 for $25 in odds. You could also place 1 times your pass line bet, so 15 and 15, and they would pay you $18. So here they would pay just like this. Right? You pick those, as soon as they drop them, you can pick them up. Okay. Let's see here. This placard over here that has a table min is also going to tell you the maximum amount of odds you can place. As a new player, you probably won't be hitting that, but it's possible. On a lot of Vegas tables, it's 3, 4, 5. If you see a 3, 4, 5 odds, 3x, 4x, 5x, that's referring to the 4 is a 3x, 4 and 10 pair is 3x, 5 and 9 pair is 4x, 6 and 8 pair is 5x. Okay, so we've established a point. Let's say it's a 5. Besides a 7, the next most common number rolled is a 6 or 8. If you put, and if we need 3 units, if a table minimum is $15, then the minimum you could place on the 6 and 8 would be $15, technically. But that would not be a correct bet. A correct bet to get the maximum odds and a 6 and 8 would be $18. You got $18 as 6 and 8. Now when it's when you're using, these are called place bets. Place bets pay slightly different than true odds. You are saying that I want a 6 or 8 before a 7 rolls. And these are up there as long as you want them. You say, dealer, I want to bring my 6 and 8 down. They will bring them down at any time. You can put them back up at any time. You might annoy the dealer every time doing that, but it's your money. Not saying that, once you learn, you'll get better at it. You get $7 for every $6 on the 6 or 8 pair. You get $7 for every $5 on the 5 or 9 pair. And yes, even though that says it's the point, and you have the point, this is a little advanced feature for you here. If I have $40 and I want to bet more, I could drop a nickel here, which means I could put another $20 here, or I could just put more money out here. I could put 15, right? I could put 25 if I liked. Again, this is a contract bet. This bet here, you can take it off. And this bet here is built for the come out roll, where you're at the advantage of the 7 or 11 to win, right? This right here, once the point's established, there's no need to add more here. Just place it right there. All right, so you'd get 7 for every 5. Now the ironic thing is, they both pay 21, right? 7 for every 5. If I have a $15 bet, that's 3 units of 5. I divide my wager, the $15, by 5. That gives me 3 units. 3 units times 7 is 21. 6 and 8, same thing. I have $18. Divide by a 6 to get the number of units that I have. And that tells me I have 3 units. 3 units times 7, I win $21. The 4 and 10, same thing here. This is going to get a little tricky when you put a little more money on it. Okay, $15. It pays $9 for every 5. So a $15 bet divided by 5 is 3 units times 9 wins $27. So 21, 21, 27 for a minimum bet on the 4, 5, or 6. The same applies to the pair, 8, 9, or 10. Let's see here. You can buy the odds like you get back here on the 4 and 10. And it costs you $1. And in Vegas, it's a great deal because you don't have to pay what's called the VIG up front. You have to pay a 5% commission to get that 2-to-1 odds compared to 9-to-5. So how does that relate here? So at 2-to-1, I basically can divide this by 1. It's 15. Multiply it times 2, and that's going to give me $30 minus a 5% commission. So 5% of 30 is 5% of 15 is 75 cents. The minimum they're going to charge you is $1. So you're going to pay $1 on the winnings. So you're going to get paid $29 if that 4 hits. You're going to get paid $29. A common thing that happens is, let's say the table minimum is 10, right? It's a $10 table. What am I getting paid here? $12 divided by 6 is 2 times 7 is 14. I'm going to get paid $14. If the dealer looks in your rail and already sees that you got a big stack of white, instead of dropping you down $14, right, they're going to say 15 for 1 and move on to the next person. And what they're going to do is they're going to drop they're going to drop $15 there, and they're waiting for you to drop a nickel. You collect your $15. It's called 15 for 1. Very common move that you'll hear a lot if you spend any amount of time at the craps table. So that takes us through these bets here. Pretty much, I'll throw out the field bet. The field bet, again, table minimum, whatever the table minimum is here. Let's say it's $15 or $10. Let's say it's $15. I throw out $15. Those dice land on any of these numbers that you see here, you win. If it lands on number that's circled says pays double, you're going to get double this bet. So you would actually win $30. Sometimes you'll see tables that have pays triple on a 12, which is a really, really good bet. It's when I say really good bet, the field bet has a house advantage of 5.556. When this 12 pays triple on your table, it drops the house advantage in half to 2.778. All right. Here's a link to a video I put together about house advantage. A come bet is the same thing as a pass line bet after the puck is established, after the shooter has established a point. The don't come bet is exactly like the don't pass bet after the point has been established. Again, you lose on a 7 or 11. You win on a 2 or 3. You push on a 12. The come bet, you win on a 7 or 11. 7, everything else loses. But your 7 would win here. 11 would win also. 2, 3, or 12, you lose. Center bets. Horn bets, typically the players that are action junkies will throw out center bets. They'll throw them all the time. Casual players may play them on come-out rolls, and they do that as a semi-hedge to the pass line. And others, like the 11, also called a yo, snake eyes, box cars, yo, ace deuce. You'll have people hop the 7s. 2 or 12 pay 30 to 1. 30 to 1. What are the odds on a 2 or 12? Anybody know? Off the top of your head? 1 out of 36 to hit a 12 or hit a 2. 2 or 11 pay 15 to 1. There is also a bet called any craps. Any craps will pay 8 to 1. Excuse me, 8 for 1, which is actually going to be 7. It'll pay you $7. This layout's a little weird because that's the actual payout. 30 is what you would get paid out at a casino. But that is a tricky wording that you should pay attention to. 8 for 1 means they take your dollar. The casino rarely takes your dollar and gives you 8 because they want another chance at that dollar, because most likely it'll lose. Anything in the center bets here are a lot higher risk, a lot higher house advantage. Let's see. These are hard ways, and what I mean by a hard way is the dice have to land exactly like the layout. If it's easy, meaning a 10 would be 6-4. There's only 2 combinations for the 10. 6-4 and 5-5. Same thing with the 4. You got 2-2 and 3-1. Likewise, there are 3 combinations for 6 and 8. You got 4-4, 5-3, 6-2. And for the 6, you have 3-3, 5-1, 4-2. All right. Hot bets. These are one-time bets. By the way, one-time bet. These stay on until either the shooter 7's out or the number gets rolled easy. One-time bets for these hot bets. Again, very high house advantage. This is what's called a repeater bet. And these are bonus bets that you can do. Hard to see, but you can see all small, make them all, and all tall, commonly known as the all tall small. And these are a fantastic time. Terrible house advantage, 20%, 20.51%, I believe. So what happens is, as you throw, the dealers mark what numbers have been tossed. When you hit all of the numbers on one side, you get paid for the small or tall, depending on which side hits, if you have money on that bet. If they make this side and this side, then and you have money in the center on the make them all, you're going to get paid $150 for 1. Most casinos, it's $150 to 1. So, same thing with this. This would be 30 to 1. There are some that go 35 to 1, 175 to 1, and 35 to 1. Really preferred, right? But not really not that common. Once they got away with putting these numbers out, the everyone followed, right? Repeater bet is I love this bet too, but again, another 20% house advantage. The problem is they have Caesar properties were the ones that were really known for having this, and they have removed it on most places. Somebody said recently that they played it at the Rio, so it's still available. In a Caesar property. I don't know if they've sold that yet. Yeah, so I have pretty much covered the table. Okay, so I covered the table. I covered approaching the table, buying in, a little bit of etiquette, a little more etiquette, I guess. Let's see. You won't often hear don't pass bettors cheering when they win. The dice, these dice are sharp. When you get your chance to shoot, you feel those corners, they're sharp. The stick man is often going to say hands high when he passes the dice out. At that point, get your hands back. You get caught with your hand down there placing a bet when those dice come through and you get hit. A, it hurts. B, it's an etiquette thing. A lot of people feel it's a superstition, while the dice, 1 in 6 chance of landing on 7 at any given time. It seems to be most often after they hit someone's hands, someone throws money on the table, right? And craps players, believe it or not, they might be a little superstitious. When you're leaving, there's another etiquette is tipping your dealers. Again, tipping is up to the discretion of the player. But if those dealers are working hard, they're giving you good service, it's okay to give them a tip. Some dealers like action, right? Some dealers prefer to put it in the bank. All right. So again, it's up to you and your dealer how you choose to tip them. You don't have to go crazy, but if you do, you're going to get a lot more favorable treatment. Seems like. So I believe I've covered quite a bit today. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. I'm sure all my subscribers would love to help you out. We all love playing craps and having a great time at the table. So, and we want you to have a great time also. Best of luck at the table. Be safe, be strong, and throw them dice nice and soft. I like soft dice. Yeah. Anyway, hey, best of luck to you. Good luck on your trip. We'll see you later. Let us know how it goes too. Let us know if this helped. Appreciate it.